Hey there, it's Confusion. In this video, I'm gonna share with you 6 strategies that help me overcome fear of taking an action as a music producer. Fear of taking action is common when you wanna take action on something, but it's a little bit hard, and it's because you have to step out of your comfort zone, and that's something really hard to do. When I first started pursuing music, I had this overwhelming fear every time I would sit and wanted to make some music. It wasn't just about whether the final song will be good, but I was scared to even start. I would find myself procrastinating, making excuses, and when I learned something new in videos, everything what I did was just waiting for the right time to start. So I would do nothing. And my procrastination would look like every time when working on the music was hard, I would one just pick my phone and start scrolling or texting with someone. Two, I would close my laptop and I would go to watch some Netflix. And three, which is kind of good thing that I watched YouTube videos, but I was escaping from solving the problem and removing my fear. This fear of taking action can be paralyzing because you start doubting everything even before you even start. But what I've learned is to overcome this, is to just sit and dive in no matter how hard it is. We might have many different fears when we want to take action, like the biggest one is fear of failure. The other one is fear of success. I know it's hard to believe, but when you achieve something big, you may fear of not sustaining the success and being scared of what it comes with, or fear of judgment that people will say something about us or that they will laugh at us. These are like the most popular things. One of the biggest breakthroughs for me was learning how to embrace the process of starting. There were times where I just open laptop and I would just stare to the screen not knowing what to do and where to start. I found that when I just start with something like laying a simple beat or playing with bass rhythm, I found is that you can't just think of starting new beat and it's like magic. It's something that you need to pay attention to and you need to take some time for it. For example, if you want to start with beat, then it shouldn't be like that you leave it immediately as it gets tough. You need to experiment and explore what you can do with that beat, even if you are beginner and you don't know what you need to do with that. Just add something like percussion or whatever, just add some element or use some technique on it. Experiment, try it for 30 minutes, and when really there is no chance of getting it better, then go on and start something new, like maybe playing with the bass pattern or creating a melody. But again, don't leave it as it gets tough, I know it comes with another fear that you don't know what to use. You don't know how it will sound at the end. I remember one time when I was completely stuck, but I started with playing with beat. I would do what I usually do. Then I tried to create percussion in Serum, and I created like a 1 bar long note, and it was very nice sound, which added something special to the beat, and it was fitting perfectly, and I started to like it, and as I like it, I immersed to the process, and from that moment, it was like something else wouldn't matter. I would be just focused solely on the beat, and nothing else mattered. So the first method is just start, even if it's messy. Just start. If you don't know where the idea is going, just start, because taking the first step is crucial. The second thing that really helped me was building habits about music production. So there were days where I didn't feel like I want to do music production. I didn't feel like working on anything, but I would make a commitment to myself to sit down and do something every day, no matter what. At first, it was tough. I would often sit there not knowing what to do, and the music wasn't good. The music was just pure shit. But over time, this habit was a powerful tool that helped me to overcome fear of starting. So by making music production habit, it became less about waiting for the perfect moment when some magic happens and I make a hit song, and it's more about showing up and doing the work. If I compare my work, like the quality and the vibe and how I like my songs, with if I work on song once a month and if I work on songs consistently for 1 month with no breaks, the songs are completely different. Like, I have more ideas, I experiment more, I'm more creative, I know what to use where and why, and I have more songs to show. Like, there's more songs which are good. Like, if I would spend months on perfecting one song which is shit, then I wouldn't see any progress. And if you are consistent with your music production sessions, you are starting new song at least like 2 or 3 times a week, you have higher chance that one or more of those songs will be actually great and you will actually like it. Because I see this pattern in a lot of my students which have mentoring with me. They make one song, but they perfecting the song for months, but they don't like the song that much, you know? And I don't say that it's bad to work on music for several months. I've been finishing my EP for 3 years. But what I say is that you should try to focus your time and energy on songs that you actually like and that you know that they are awesome and it's worth the time to spend months on them. So the third technique is consistency is key. When you make action a habit, it becomes less intimidating and more natural. I used to get so caught up in trying to make every song perfect before I even got started. I would worry about whether the song idea is good or if I'm using the right sounds, but that mindset was actually holding me from making any progress. So one day I decided to shift my focus from perfection to progress. And instead of aiming to create a masterpiece every time, I focus on just making something, really like anything that I could learn from. And this mindset shift was a game changer for me. So the fourth thing is, when you focus on progress, pressure to be perfect goes away, and that makes taking action so much easier. One of the biggest reasons why we are afraid to take action is fear of failure. I remember this one project that I was really excited about, but I kept pushing it off because I was too scared that it wouldn't go as I would imagined. But I learned that failure is part of the process, and thanks to failure we actually learn. Because I have a lot of tracks that actually didn't turn out as I imagined. Some turned out well, some turned out in trash, but that's the part of the process. Like, not every tune you make is perfect. I made like 30 tunes before I made one tune that I actually liked and that could be played somewhere or that would be listenable. And even though it was pretty good tune, I still wasn't satisfied with how it sounds and how the mixing was, etc. But I learned a lot from working on those songs and being consistent with my music production sessions. Each failure taught me something new and got me closer to creating something great. Every shitty song I made brought me closer to making 1 or 2 songs that were like mix of everything I learned during like 10 shitty tunes. So really it requires a lot of practice. The only real failure is not trying. So don't let the fear of failure stop you from taking action and embrace it as part of your growth as a music producer. Sixth thing is setting small achievable goals. Early on, I would get overwhelmed because when I had some projects that I liked, I said myself that I need to finish whole song, like the entire track. And that brought me a lot of other fears, like, but I don't know how to do mixing, or I don't know how to do the arrangement such a way that the song sounds finished, and I just don't know what to use. So I started to breaking it down, focusing on just one element at a time. And the way how I approach it was, at the time when I was finishing the song, I would take notes and I would listen to whole song. I would write down everything that needs to be improved on the song, and I would start with the task that requires most of the time and that is the most important at the time. So it might be having better drums, or the snare isn't good enough, or the build up needs to have more risers, or there's a click sound which is annoying in the intersection. So like this, you know what you need to work on during the session, and you just don't jump from idea to idea. And if you are someone who is overthinker, you might have hundreds, thousands of ideas within one studio session. So jumping like this from one idea to idea is very ineffective, and it might be really overwhelming and might give you pretty big headache. And little exercise for the end. At any point of your life, it doesn't have to be necessarily music production. It can be recording videos, or going to gym, or going for a run, or eating healthy food. Like, identify what fears do you have about taking the action, and really think about where it might come from, and try to recognize if it's like fear of judgment, or fear of failure, or fear of success. Just identify what type of failure it is. Just remember that fear is normal response of your mind for taking action. Like, it's a sign that you are stepping out of your comfort zone, and you become stronger if you overcome it. And if you just decide to not overcome your fear, you will stay weak and you will see no progress. So what you can do to remove these fears is take action. And if it's not easy, and it's usually very hard to take action, even if it's some small task, it can be anything, but it's really hard to take action. But you can also replace the fear with some positive thoughts or some positive beliefs. So I'm gonna give you an example. Like, you are running, you just decided to go for a run, but you are starting to get out of breath, and you are saying to yourself like, it's too hard, I will die. So you can say to yourself, it's easy and I can do more, it's good for me. And I know you are probably saying like, saying this to yourself, it's too simple, it can't work. And you are right. Just saying the thing will not work. You actually have to truly believe it, act based on the belief. And if you decide to take action, you will see that after you take the action, you feel much better than if you wouldn't take action, and if you just go home and not decide to run for another 20 minutes. The third thing you can do is you can think about the benefits of taking action. Like, just imagine what would happen, how your life would be like if you take action on that thing. Like, I remember myself recording videos, but I would be shaky, I would smile, I would make fun of it, like it's not important, and I wouldn't record the video. I would just stop because I would be too shy. But one day I just had to record the invite. There was no chance I could do it. I would try to record it like 20 times. But then there was like some kind of shift in my head, and I said to myself that I will stop act like some kid, and I will try to be more serious, and I don't care about judgment of others now. I will just record the video, and it was done. Really, like, that was example of fear of judgment, because the myself making fun of it was just a protection, you know? I was outside, I was smiling, making fun of it, like I'm unable to record videos, haha. But inside, I was scared of judgment of other people, like what they will think about me, etc. And the fourth thing you can do to overcome fear is just to visualize, like 5 to 20 minutes. Like, it can be just sitting or lying. Just imagine yourself successfully completing the action. But don't visualize just your success. Visualize how hard it is to work on the action, how hard it is to make decisions, be as vivid as possible. Like, visualize smells, visualize sounds, visualize how you are sweating with making the decision. But after that, visualize that you feel good about making the tough decision and actually take an action. And you will see, like, do it regularly, like once a day, and after a certain period of time, you will actually see that you can visualize better, you can be more vivid, and you will see how you master the visualization after time. And I can only recommend it, because this visualization is helping me in a lot of things, like Yesterday I was visualizing recording this video, and I'm actually happy that it was so smooth to record this. And I very often visualize myself working on music, or when I have group calls in my free community, on which is link below this video. I just visualize myself explaining some music production techniques and how smoothly it goes and how hard it is for me to explain something and talk in front of 20 people or more, you know. So I do this very often. It's helping me a ton. So I wouldn't recommend it without actually trying it. So trust me and you will see your results. So there you have it, 6 strategies that help me overcome fear and take action. And we also covered 4 techniques that I use in daily life to overcome fear from anything. It's awesome to know how to take action because you will see massive progress in anything you choose. But what if you don't know what to do because you don't know what you want? And this is what we'll cover in next video. I release video like this every week, so don't forget to follow me. I hope to see you in my next video and stay creative.